Did you know that there are over 100 colleges and universities in the United States that are now need blind? And that list is growing every single year. This means that the colleges consider a student's application without considering their financial situation for admissions. This is great because it focuses solely on academic and extracurricular activities rather than a student's ability to cover the bill. In today's video, I want to explain a little bit more about Need Blind and give you a list of schools that you and your student can consider if you would prefer a school that is Need Blind. Now make sure you hit subscribe because every week we have a new strategy for you to work towards a debt-free education with your student. Hey there, my name is Jocelyn Pearson, founder of the Scholarship System, where we redefine paying for college to help families build strong financial futures rather than ones where they're paying on student loan debt for decades to come. But a big part of getting that debt-free degree first starts with school choice. And so that's why I want to focus on this today. Let's dive in. So like I said, schools that are need blind base their admissions solely on the quality of the application, not on the student's financial ability to pay the bill. Last week, we actually released a video explaining need aware schools. So if you want to see the alternative, you can check that out. We'll link to it in the description and put it here. Now for families that are feeling nervous about the gap between the total cost of attendance and your family's ability, what you can contribute, this need blind factor might be something that you want to consider. So instead, a student is admitted based on their merits, their grades, their extracurriculars, their essays, what they wrote, how they sell themselves, rather than a financial situation. And if they are admitted, many of these schools actually offer 100% of covering their full demonstrated need. And some of the schools actually commit to giving 100% of that need without student loans. So what does this mean? Just a quick side note. Whenever we are looking at a student's financial need, we look at the total cost of attendance, the COA. We subtract our SAI, our student aid index. That's the number that we receive from FAFSA. And the difference is our financial need. So say the university costs $80,000, our SAI came back as $30,000, the gap is $50,000. So if a school commits to covering that gap, 100% of that gap without student loans, that is amazing. That just turned that $80,000 school basically into a $30,000 school. This is where we always say that we want to look for schools based on money and based on offers, not just based on which random ones most people go to in our area, because sometimes a school that is typically way more expensive can actually be more affordable depending on your family situation. We have a lesson inside our program that a family used for this, and they actually discovered that Duke was financially responsible for them, that it was within their range. They never were going to apply until they realized, wait a minute, if we get in, they will cover the need. And so they not only made it happen, but she actually just finished her undergraduate degree completely debt-free. Now, some schools don't guarantee that 100% meeting need will exclude loans. Some of them consider meeting it to include loans, but can also include grants as well as work study, whatever kind of money they can pull together. Now, regardless of what your family can bring in, you and your student should always focus on outside scholarships from really as early as 10th grade in high school all the way through senior year in college. So if you want to learn how we identify legitimate scholarships that have less competition versus the ones like Coca-Cola, then I have a free training for you. It's my 6 steps to securing scholarships. You can click the video here or go to the scholarshipsystem.com/free training and register for that free training. Now, if you are unsure if a school is need aware or need blind, I do recommend, if you can't find it with a quick Google, you can always contact the financial aid office and ask them. That way you are certain about it. It can literally pay to know the difference. Now, most prestigious schools, the Ivy Leagues, are need blind. So if you're curious about that list, we have an Ivy League scholarships video. I will link to that one in the description as well. Any resources I mentioned in my videos, we will put all the links below, or you can click it here, but you can check out that video next after this one. But here's a list of 20 need blind schools: Amherst College, Boston College, Brown University, Caltech, Carnegie Mellon, Columbia and Cornell University, Dartmouth, Duke, Georgetown, Harvard, Johns Hopkins, MIT, NYU, Penn State, Pomona College, Princeton, Stanford, University of Chicago, and Yale. So as you can see, a lot of these are pretty competitive. But if your student is a competitive student, you just can't afford the school, then this is great because they're basing their decisions off of your student's merit. Now, comment below, is your student applying to a need blind school? Was it on our list? If not, share what the school is below. I would love to increase our list of schools here, and let us know. Are you nervous about this? Do you feel great about it? Are you focusing only on need blind? Let us know your situation below, and we will read through every comment and reply to the ones that we can. Now, before we wrap up, one question you might have is, why would we care if it's need blind or need aware? And in some cases, people believe that if a school is need aware and your financial situation is not the best, it's maybe your family is low income and it's clear that you couldn't typically afford that school, sometimes the assumption is that if they're looking at your financial situation, they'd rather give the spot to someone who can afford it. So for families at a disadvantage, if your family is not financially in the middle or above, then yet your student wants to go to an expensive school, then a need aware in this type of assumption, need aware, you'd be at a disadvantage. Where need blind, that financial situation would make no difference. Your student would be admitted based on their merits and their application alone, which for a competitive student that is just not in a strong financial situation, that's great because they deserve to be around the best of the best and educated just like everyone else. So this gives them that opportunity regardless of their family's financial background. So that's it. Again, like you see, a lot of them are competitive, but there are many more than the ones that I listed. So if you're looking for need blind schools, please take a look. We have tons out there, and it certainly can open up the options for your student. Now, don't forget to hit subscribe because, again, every week we have a new strategy to help your family work towards that debt-free degree. And again, this is Jocelyn with the Scholarship System. I'll see you in the next video.